Hello folks, this is Jack, and this is one of those good old video response video type things. Anyways, I'm responding to Qualiasoup's recent video entitled Morality 2. Now, Qualiasoup, I want to toss out this question here. Admittedly, it's a bit of a ridiculous sort of question, I'm sure, to some, but there is a point behind the question. You know, Qualiasoup, would you ever do a video in which you talk about how there is this ant colony, and within this ant colony there is this queen ant that rises to power, and then when she gets into this colony, there's everyone must become servants of her, and they must abandon notions of each individual ant must abandon notions of reproducing on their own and doing their own thing, and instead they must live lifestyles that are exclusive to one particular sort of pattern of behavior. For example, you have a worker ant, and that's all that they do for their entire existence. They are a worker ant. Now, would you think that if this occurred, would you do a video in which you would talk about how this ant colony would the consequence of all this would be outrage? Would you ever do that? Probably not. Would you talk about then go on to say in this video how these ants have non-arbitrary reasons to object? Non-arbitrary reasons to object to what's going on, and how these established laws and rules by this queen ant, by this society and civilization even, leads to clearly identifiable abuses of the individual ants within this colony. Would you talk about how these ants know too much about what constitutes harmful behavior? Would you do any of that? You would. Of course you wouldn't do any of that. No. It'd be silly, right? But it's sort of funny because as I was listening to you talk about all these things in such absolutist ways, it's non-arbitrary, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, wait. You don't believe there's a God. Okay. You believe we've evolved over the course of billions of years, random mutation, natural selection, time, right? Okay. So here it is. We have these other animal species, and we can look at these other animal species like ant colonies, and we can see that they have different sort of hierarchical structures within these colonies, within these sort of societies. Why, as humans, can we not do similar things? I mean, when we look at these ant colonies, we can describe the actions of which they are engaging in. As humans, however, now we actually go about using words, attributing things of value and worth. But this is where it comes down to, Qualiasoup, a question for you. So we can now speak in terms of values and worth that we have, but I'm curious to know how it is that you've gained this special understanding about, first of all, about what it means to be human, and how our humanity should play out within the context of a society or civilization. Because that's the assumption that you make from the beginning of your video. The assumption you make is basically this. You're saying, this is what it means to be human. This is how our existence should unfold within the context of society and civilization. And what happens within the context of society and civilization, because of what it means, because of this value that I have on our humanity, is, well, of course, people would experience cognitive dissonance when a leader would rise to power and implement these clearly identifiable abuses within. And I'm thinking to myself, that sounds good. I mean, you're certainly making an appeal to, people's, understanding of how we would like for things to be and how we think things should be. But I don't see how you actually have any grounds of actually establishing this in some sort of objective way. All you've done is you're making an appeal. That's what you've done. Which is fine. But given the variety of societal structures found in these various species of animals, I don't see on what grounds you establish that there is some absolute formation regarding society as humans the different societies and cultures and civilizations as humans, I don't see how you can speak of speak of notions of justice in such an absolute way. Because if indeed we have just evolved from these animal species, why are we not? And we see a variety of approaches to how these colonies, civilizations go about, living. Why could we not have various approaches to our notions and concepts of living as well? It seems to me that we easily could. I would like to know why you think we can't. Given the fact that you believe there's no God and that we've evolved over the course of billions of years, random mutations, natural selections from these animal species, I'd like to know why it is that you are asserting that we cannot have as much variety in terms of how individuals function in society and the implementation of different sort of societal structures and perspectives about what it means to be human and what it means to live out a human life. Why we couldn't be as diverse as the various animal species of which we see. That's the question for you. The question for the viewers. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Y'all take care.